Hello everyone, and welcome to a special video here, kind of out of the blue. I have been listening to an awesome Skyrim podcast called Skyrim Off the Record by the Quest Gaming Network. If you have not heard of it or listened to it, then, well, I'll pray for you. But anyways, they have recently, this last week, started what they call the challenge. Now the challenge is to start a character from level 1 in Skyrim, of course, and try in 4 weeks to get him up to level 50. And the idea also is something that you've never done before. So if you've made 10 archers, don't make an archer if you want to take part in this. But, so I decided to do a little bit of... I was trying to go for a class that I didn't think a lot of people would go for. Now, at least lore-wise, they wouldn't think about this. And I also like to kind of really role-play my character in my own mind. So, you can see on the map, we are at the Hall of the Vigilant. Now, in your wanderings in Skyrim, you may have run across the Vigil of Stendarr, or the Vigilant of Stendarr. Either one works. The Vigil was formed after the Oblivion Crisis, which you should know about. And basically their job was to hunt down Daedra that have come into the world and to stop the Daedric princes from trying to take over, like in Oblivion. And so they're mages mostly, this character here. So what I've been focusing on, I've been playing, see, I'm level 17 already. I've been playing off and on and working on a lot of stuff on this character, but I haven't been able to record. So this is the first chance I get to record. So restoration is one thing I really want to work on. Enchanting is another. Alteration, that's one, since I'll be wearing... Well, okay, first I should say what I'm wearing. I'm wearing just, I think, let's see, apprentice robes. Yeah, apprentice restoration robes. A novice hood, which gives me a bonus to magicka. And steel, well, heavy armor, boots, and gauntlets. I don't apparently have an amulet or a ring that I know of, yeah. And so so I'm wearing robes with heavy armor. And so I will be doing some more leveling into armor, but mainly what the Vigil do and what I've been able to find out about them is they focus on healing and one-handed. And since my character wants to be like them, I have, as you can see here, Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker is an awesome Daedric sword you get, sword you get from a Daedric quest. Burns for 10 points, and when killing undead, a chance to cause a fiery explosion that turns or destroys nearby undead. So for someone hunting undead in Daedra, it's pretty much the only sword you can even choose. But anyways, to the roleplay for my character, and for giving me the idea of looking up the lore and stuff, thank you, Lou. Lou does awesome lore segments on Skyrim Off the Record, and I hope he continues to do more. Now, for the roleplay, I have to blame Ivarwin. He does basically what I do, lots of role-playing on his character. He'll talk about his paladin a lot. But I view my character as not quite... as more of a flawed Vigilant. Now, for any of you who may wonder, there are no quests involved with the Vigil, but you can talk to their leader, and she can train you in restoration magic. So that might be useful for someone trying to max out restoration. But basically what their idea is, they hate Daedra, but they're also healers. So you can see I have healing hands here.
Thanks.
But, basically, one thing I've decided I could probably do on this character is just get, better and better companions. And one of the roleplay things, like, this is Sven from Riverwood. If you've played through at least the first part of the game, you'll know who he is. Well, maybe not. If you've ever gone into Riverwood and there's this elf, Faendal, and Sven are going after the same girl, Camilla, and you help either of them, the one you help will be able to become a companion. And, so I kind of view the roleplay with that as that I'm kind of training Sven to be more than just a bard who sings in a tavern that doesn't get a lot of visitors. And, but hopefully in my journeys and going around selling stuff that I pick up, Dragon will attack Riverwood, as they often do. And at that point, Sven will decide that his place is to stay at home and defend his people, not gallivanting around with some weird dark elf. But he doesn't, as all Vigil, my character now we're talking about, view all Daedra as evil. As you know, if you know anything about the lore, Lou, I wonder if you know this, not all Daedra are actually considered evil. Azura and Meridia are two that are actually considered to be, if not wholly evil, actually somewhat good. And actually Meridia is the one that you get the sword from, and I believe Meridia is the Daedric Prince of Life, I think, which would make her the opposite of Mehrunes Dagon, who is the Daedric Prince of Destruction. So basically, my plan for this character, he spent up to level 15, he spent just wandering around the Whiterun area doing quests for those people, helping them. Basically, he comes into Skyrim, he gets arrested by the Imperials, almost executed, leaves with nothing at all, and his goal now is just to get enough money and equipment to continue his search for the undead and for Daedra, evil Daedra. In his journeys, and from this point on, this is my own roleplay, he hears rumors of a statue of Meridia up north by Solitude. He travels up there specifically to find the statue and see what he can make of it. He ends up getting talked to by Meridia and ends up helping Meridia rid her temple of an evil necromancer who was a pain in the butt to kill. But I did it, and I received Dawnbreaker, the sword that I have here, from that quest. Dawnbreaker is awesome. Like I've said, it works very well against undead creatures, but it also has one of the biggest amount of charges of any enchanted weapon I've run into. Speaking of which, I should probably fill it. So my idea is he comes into Skyrim looking for the Vigil, or the Vigilant. Once he finds them, he realizes their outlook on the Daedra is probably a bit more drastic than he wants. But he views Skyrim as being a place where the stuff he likes to do is thriving. He can help fight against injustice, and he can also help rid the various crypts and tombs of Skyrim of undead. So he's kind of, in a way, like a flawed Vigil. He will do things for money that probably not a normal Vigil wouldn't. But when it comes to the really evil type things, and this is where I think this gameplay is going to be interesting, because I'm really going to cripple myself because I won't be able to do some of the quest lines. When it comes to the Assassin, the Dark Brotherhood, the Thieves Guild, the Cannibals and Markarth, anything that has to do that's just really, really considered evil or Daedric, well, I'll probably do Azura's Star, because I am doing enchanting, and Azura isn't really considered evil. But anything, all of those other stuff, I will either not do them, or if I'm forced to do them, get to a point where I can just leave it and then get out of there and ignore it. Like, I think I can avoid doing the Molag Bal quest by just not walking into the house with the well, there's a good thing. There's a vigilant in Markarth who is involved with the Molag Bal quest. But, anyways, I can avoid doing that quest, or once I get to the part where you actually speak to Molag Bal, I could just leave it and not do anything he says. I'm not sure if there's a point after that where you can actually, if you keep doing that quest, you can avoid doing it. But, continuing on. Skills. I'm focusing in one-handed and restoration with a secondary in destruction. Now, as you can see, restoration is kind of, I haven't been leveling it up quite as well. If you have any tips on leveling up restoration, let me know. I mean, I've been doing all I can. I use wards. I heal my companion a lot, and I heal myself a lot. But with the secondary in destruction for ranged attacks, especially when it comes to dragons, doing quite a bit in enchanting and smithing, mainly for smithing for my bracers and my boots, but I also might go with a helmet once I get enchanting higher up, but mainly that's to make money, because I can put weak enchantments on any little piece of armor I pick up in my travels that might double or triple its price at a store. Heavy armor, you can see I haven't done a whole lot. It's only level 19. I actually started this character going light armor, but then I figured going one-handed, I probably wanted to go with heavy, so that's kind of a new thing there. One-handed, you can see I've gotten really high, talked to a lot of trainers. That's also why I'm broke. But, so I need more money, please. But, light armor is the only thing. Sneak. That must have just been a random thing, because I never put in... Oh, that's right. I am... Now, guys, if this breaks me from the challenge, I really hope it doesn't. But, I have been talking to every little trainer I can, like with alchemy, which I haven't even done anything with. I do not do alchemy in the Elder Scrolls games. I'm sorry, but it's too... no one's ever really explained it to me in a way that makes me want to do it, to go around looking for twigs and stuff. But with sneak and alchemy, I've actually ran into people who can train me in those, and so that's why I'm a bit of a higher level in those. So hopefully that doesn't break me from the, or not break me, disqualify me from the challenge. But so yeah, Vigil of Stendarr, my main goal, to defeat undead in any form. So that also, I may do the beginning of the companions, but if I really want to play this character out right, then once I find out that the companions are werewolves, I should either betray them and try to kill them all, which won't work because they're essential, or just leave them and kind of lollygag on that, you might say, because if I do that, if I have to kill them, then I can't. But if I just leave them alone, I'm trying to think of a role-playing option for that. If I just, like, say, hey, these guys are really not all that bad, but if I just leave them alone, then I won't have to do anything to them. But, so that, I mean, see, that even shows how hard this playthrough might be once I get a little bit further on with it, because a lot of the main quest chains I'm not going to be able to do if I'm role-playing my character right. I'm just trying to think of, I mean, I can still do the Civil War. I'm probably going to side with the Imperials, and my legs are gone. Because of the Nords general mistrust of elves and foreigners, especially the dark elves in Windhelm. But so I'll probably view like the Empire, like fight for the little guy's freedom, joining them. But anyway, so this is my character. If you have any other questions, leave a comment. Guys at the podcast, Dave, Yvarwin, Joe, Lou, anyone else who's been on that I can't remember at the moment, I love the podcast. Really love the idea of the challenge, and so I'm gonna keep doing it. Hope you guys are having good playthroughs of your own, and I will talk to you later.